Welcome back, basketball fans, to another massive breaking update on the pulse of Philippine basketball. We are standing at a critical juncture, a true crossroads for the national team, as the road to FIBA World Cup demands nothing short of absolute perfection. But as we all know, the basketball gods rarely hand out easy paths. Today, we are unpacking a bombshell development that is sending shockwaves through the Gilas Pilipinas community, forcing a complete recalibration of Coach Tim Cohn's master plan. The headlines are blazing, the rumors have been swirling, and the facts are finally locked in. We have 3 additional players officially called up to the Gilas Pilipinas pool. This is not a drill, and this is not merely a depth-building exercise. This is a red alert, emergency deployment required immediately due to a sudden and devastating string of injuries that has threatened to derail our momentum in these crucial FIBA Asian qualifiers. But amidst the chaos, amidst the medical reports and the lineup shuffling, there is one massive, undeniable beacon of hope that is making headlines of its own. Tamayo is still coming. Let me repeat that, because the magnitude of this news cannot be overstated. Despite the grueling overseas schedules, despite the whispers of fatigue, and despite the logistical nightmares that have plagued our international stars in the past, Tamayo has silenced the doubters. He is packing his bags, he is crossing borders, and he is answering the call of the motherland. This is the kind of dedication that builds legends, and today, we're going to break down exactly what his arrival means for a battered, bruised, but fiercely resilient Gilas squad. We're going to dive deep, and I mean incredibly deep, into the anatomy of this roster crisis. We're going to look at the exact nature of the injuries that forced the Samahang basketball in Pilipinas to abandon their strict, tight-knit continuity model and open the floodgates for 3 new reinforcements. We are talking about the loss of towering rim protectors, the absence of elite perimeter defenders, and the sudden void of pure, unadulterated athleticism that Coach Tim Cohn relies on to execute his intricate triangle offense. Who went down? How bad is it? And most importantly, who are the 3 absolute warriors stepping into the fray to fill shoes that many thought were unfillable? We are going to analyze the arrival of Quinton Milora-Brown, the towering, physical force who has just been cleared as a local player and is ready to impose his will in the paint. We are going to dissect the injection of pure, high-octane playmaking with R.J. Abarianos joining the ranks, bringing his international swagger and lethal shooting back to Manila hardwood. And we will explore the tactical genius of bringing in Kwame into fold, providing a defensive safety net and a rebounding masterclass that could be the exact antidote to the towering front courts of our upcoming opponents. This is not just a roster update. This is a story of survival. This is a story of a national team refusing to blink in the face of adversity. This is Gilas Pilipinas fighting for their lives, fighting for their pride, and fighting for a ticket to the world stage. Strap in, because we are about to tear apart the headlines, analyze the X's and O's, and give you the most comprehensive, unfiltered look at the state of Gilas Pilipinas today. Let us get into the deep dive. To truly understand the gravity of these 3 new additions, we have to rewind and look at the foundation Coach Tim Cohn has been trying to build. Ever since taking the helm, Cohn has preached one word above all else: continuity. He has been fundamentally opposed to the revolving door of players that has historically plagued the national team. His philosophy is simple. You pick a core of 12 to 15 guys, you keep them together, you let them learn the system, you let them bleed together, and eventually that shared trauma and triumph translates into flawless execution on the court. It is the exact blueprint he used to build PBA dynasties, and it is the exact blueprint he intended to use to conquer FIBA. But the reality of international basketball is ruthless. The reality of players grinding through the PBA, the Japanese B-League, and the Korean Basketball League simultaneously is a recipe for physical breakdown. And that breakdown has hit Gilas Pilipinas like a freight train. Let us look at the casualty list, because it is nothing short of heartbreaking. First, we look at the front court, the absolute engine of our interior defense. A.J. Edu, the defensive prodigy who captured the hearts of the nation during the last World Cup, has been battling a persistent knee injury. Edu is the kind of player who alters shots just by breathing near the paint. His mobility, his high basketball IQ, and his sheer determination are irreplaceable. When he went down in the B-League, you could feel the collective gasp of the Philippine coaching staff. But the bleeding did not stop there. We have Kai Sato, our 7'3" unicorn, dealing with both concussion protocols and lingering knee issues. Kai is a focal point of our half-court offense. The lob threat, the gravity, well, that opens up the perimeter for our shooters. To lose one of them is a hurdle. To face the prospect of missing both is a structural collapse. Add to that the absence of Jamie Malonzo, arguably the most explosive, vertically gifted wing in the entire Asian region, still recovering from a devastating calf injury. And just recently, the sniper himself, Calvin Oftana, sidelined with a hamstring strain right in the middle of a crucial TNT practice. You're looking at the loss of rim protection, vertical spacing, perimeter defense, and elite three-point shooting all in one fell swoop. This is the exact scenario that forces a coach to abandon the script. Tim Cohn had to make a move, and the SBP front office went into absolute overdrive. They realized that going into battle against the sheer physicality of teams like New Zealand, Australia, or even a gritty Guam squad with depleted front court was tactical suicide. So they expanded the pool. They brought in 3 additional players, not just as warm bodies, but as strategic chess pieces designed to plug the massive, gaping holes left by our fallen stars. Enter Quentin Miller-Brown. This is a name that every single Gilas fan needs to memorize right now. For months, the SBP worked tirelessly behind the scenes to secure his classification as a local player by FIBA, and that bureaucratic victory could not have come at a more perfect time. Miller-Brown is a 6'10" bruiser, playing for the Chiba Jets in Japan. He is not just tall. He is immensely strong, technically sound, and fundamentally wired to do the dirty work. When you lose the shot blocking of Edu and the sheer length of Sato, you need someone who can establish deep post position, set bone-crushing screens and triangle offense, and secure the defensive glass with absolute authority. Miller-Brown provides exactly that. He brings a blue-collar work ethic that perfectly complements the finesse of our guards. He is dedicating this run to his late grandfather, bringing an emotional fire and a sense of legacy to his national team debut. His inclusion is a masterstroke of scouting and timing, giving Tim Cohn a legitimate, heavy-duty big man to throw into the physical meat grinder of international play. But bolstering the front court was only part of the equation. With the injuries disrupting the flow and chemistry of the team, Gilas needed another primary ball handler, someone who can create their own shot when the shot clock is winding down and the offensive sets break down. That is why the addition of R.J. Barrientos is so utterly vital. Barrientos has been sharpening his teeth overseas, evolving from a collegiate star into a hardened, fearless professional. He brings a level of unpredictability and perimeter firepower that forces opposing defenses to stretch. When you have Justin Brownlee operating in the mid-post and Junmar Fajardo demanding double teams down low, you need a guard who can pull up from 30 feet without hesitation or thread the needle with a pocket pass. Barrientos gives Gilas a different gear. He plays with a swagger, a chip on his shoulder, and a relentless pace that can completely change the tempo of a game in a matter of possessions. And then we have the ultimate insurance policy, Ange Kwame. Adding Kwame to the pool is a fascinating tactical maneuver by the coaching staff. Under FIBA rules, a team can only field 1 naturalized player per game. Obviously, Justin Brownlee is the undisputed king of that spot. Brownlee is the closer, the heart and soul of the offense. But basketball is unpredictable. Injuries happen. Foul trouble happens. Matchups dictate strategy. By bringing Kwame into the training pool, Gilas instantly elevates the quality of their daily practices. You now have an elite, FIBA-proven rim protector challenging our guards in every single scrimmage. Furthermore, it gives Tim Cohn the ultimate flexibility. If Gilas finds themselves matched up against a team with overwhelming, terrifying size, having Kwame in the reserves means they have a glass-cleaning, shot-altering defensive anchor ready to be deployed if the tactical situation demands a massive shift in philosophy. These 3 players, Miller-Brown, Barrientos, and Kwame, are not just filling out a roster sheet. They are saving the structural integrity of the Gilas Pilipinas program during its most vulnerable hour. But all of these additions, all of the strategic maneuvering, pales in comparison to the massive headline that has the entire nation breathing a collective sigh of relief. Let's talk about Carl Tamayo. When the news broke that Tamayo was dealing with visa issues, when reports surfaced about the grueling demands of his team in the Korean Basketball League, the Changwon LG Sakers. A very real panic set in. Tamayo has a history of brutal timing with injuries. We all remember when he had to beg off the World Cup pool because of a knee procedure. We remember the sprained ankles, the grueling rehabs, and the painful what-ifs. There was a very real fear that the 24-year-old phenom was going to miss this window. But the word is out, and the word is final. Tamayo is still coming. He was spotted at the U.S. Embassy sorting out his documentation. He has been in constant communication with the Gilas coaching staff. He has explicitly stated that even if his paperwork is delayed by a day, he will fly out alone and follow the team wherever they go. That is the mentality of a warrior. That is the mentality of a player who understands what it means to wear the word Pilipinas across his chest. Why is Tamayo so important? Because Karl Tamayo is the ultimate modern basketball puzzle piece. At 6'7", he has the size of a power forward but the skill set of a pure wing. In Tim Cohn's triangle offense, versatility is the ultimate currency, and Tamayo is the richest man in the gym. He can post up smaller defenders. He can drag lumbering big men out to the three-point line and punish them with his elite shooting stroke. And he possesses a basketball IQ that allows him to make the right read, the extra pass, the subtle cut that breaks a defense wide open. With Calvin Oftan out, Gilas desperately needs floor spacing. With Malonzo out, they need size and athleticism on the wing. Tamayo provides all of that in one highly polished, incredibly competitive package. His return is not just a statistical boost. It is an emotional injection into the heart of this team. It tells the rest of the squad that no matter the obstacles, no matter the fatigue, the best players in the country are willing to sacrifice everything to stand shoulder to shoulder on the international stage. As we look at the landscape of Philippine basketball today, we are witnessing a masterclass in adaptation. We are seeing a coaching staff that refuses to panic, a front office that works miracles behind the scenes, and a group of young men who are stepping up to plate when the lights are at their absolute brightest. The injuries to Edu, Sato, Malonzo, and Oftana are undeniable setbacks. They are cruel reminders of the physical toll this beautiful game demands. But rather than folding, Gilas Pilipinas has reinforced its walls. The addition of Quinton Miller-Brown gives us the sheer, unyielding muscle we need in the trenches. RJ Barrientos injects a lethal dose of speed, shooting, and fearless playmaking into our backcourt. Ange Kwame stands as the ultimate defensive sentinel, ready to protect the rim at a moment's notice. And standing tall above it all is the sheer willpower of Karl Tamayo, a young star moving heaven and earth, fighting through red tape and international borders, just to ensure he is standing there on the court when the referee tosses the ball into the air. This is what international basketball is all about. It is not about having a perfect, uninterrupted training camp. It is about how you respond when the roof caves in. It is about next man up mentality. When Gilas steps onto that floor against the likes of New Zealand or Australia, they will not be the team Tim Cohn originally drew up on the whiteboard months ago. They will be something entirely different. They will be a team forged in the fires of necessity, patched together with grit, determination, and a burning desire to prove the world wrong. So to every single fan watching, to everyone who doubted the depth of this pool, let this be a reminder. The Philippine basketball pipeline is deep, it is talented, and it is relentlessly proud. We will track every single practice. We will monitor every single flight. And we will be here to break down every single play as this newly reformed Gilas squad marches into battle. Thank you for joining me on this incredibly deep dive into the heart of our national team. Stay passionate, stay loud, and never stop believing in the heart of Gilas Pilipinas.